A couple of days ago, I did a video delving into the notion of no one is above the law. And the reason I did it is because that is the pretext that has been used to go after Donald Trump. The fact that, hey, even though he was a former president, he's not above the law. The law applies to everyone. But in that video, I shared with you how in Canada, for example, it seems like lots of people are above the law. In fact, during that video, I even forgot to mention our public health officials. They seem to have screwed up a lot of things the last few years, and no heads were rolling, and nobody was held accountable, and they seem to be above the law. However, it doesn't seem to be the case in El Salvador. Now you're saying, Cam, El Salvador? Isn't that one of those South American dictatorship, corrupt kind of countries? Well, no. Apparently, El Salvador is a whole different animal. It has been since the leadership of Bukele, since he became president. He has changed the way things are done in that South American country. So much so that he recently did a public broadcast. He broadcasted to all of his fellow citizens. And in that broadcast, and I suspect he surprised a lot of his cabinet people, he announced publicly that his attorney general will be investigating every single one of them. That's right. Doesn't matter if you're corrupt or not, they're going to, or you're honest or whatever. He doesn't want to have his legacy tainted by any kind of corruption. He considers himself to be very virtuous and honest, and he doesn't believe he's engaged in anything like that. But he doesn't want the reflection of any of his cabinet people to, like I said, reflect poorly on him. So much so that he's ordered this full investigation. His attorney general has autonomy and independence to investigate everyone. So far, it's my understanding that there actually has been one person charged to date who was caught doing bribery, corruption, whatever, any litany of those things. Now, some of you fine Canadians, and you're probably more on the left side of the scale, may be thinking, well, that doesn't happen in Canada. We have honest politicians here. Ha ha ha. Really? We do. Well, I know that politicians are very honest. In fact, I've seen examples of that the last few years. It seems that we've had some kind of inquiries in Ottawa that some of you may not be familiar with, and our very own PM has been called to task. Now, what I would really love to see is our Prime Minister have the same kind of courage as the President of El Salvador. In fact, I would love for him to stand up in the House of Commons and say that he is going to have an open investigation of every single one of his cabinet people. We could even go as far as maybe investigating all the MPs to see how honest they are and how virtuous. Now, I'm not looking for the little things they might do online or a parking ticket they may tear up or some other little mini form of corruption. Let's face it, none of us are saints. We all do certain things. What I'm looking for is the really good stuff, the one where they bend over the taxpayers and really ram us well. And they expect us to have a smile on our faces as we're getting rammed. So that is what I would like to see Trudeau do. Now, I suspect he's probably not going to do it because if he did, he might find himself in a little bit of hot water. But hey, one can only hope. Anyway, keep your eyes on El Salvador. Lots of things happening if you haven't been paying attention. It used to be gang-ridden. The gangs basically owned the country. And since his leadership, it's totally changed. Look at the kinds of prisons he's built and what he's done with the gangs. He has basically taken on crime head on. In spite of the laments of the world community and all these bleeding hearts who are telling him that he's violating human rights and doing all these sorts of things he shouldn't be doing, he has taken control of his country and given it back to its citizens, the rightful citizens who are paying to have the operation and the running of that country. And it seems now he's also holding himself personally and his cabinet to task because guess what? They actually work for the citizens. I know, a novel concept, and who knows, maybe that mind virus might actually spread to in the West. And who knows, we may even be as lucky enough to have our very own Prime Minister catch that virus. Anyway, thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. Please post any comments you have in the comment section. You can also follow me on my Rumble and my Locals account. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please do so. Also follow me on Twitter at Camera612, and I will see you next time.